riders or not. Today I am at Ducati UK press day and I have this unique opportunity to compare Scramblers. And I've decided to compare Urban Motard and Tribute Pro because Desert Sled for me stands for its own.
The Ducati Scrambler Urban Motard has a drive weight of 180 kilograms and is powered by an 803cc L-twin engine with desmodromic distribution, which delivers 73 horsepower and 66.2 Newton meters of torque. The concept of the new 2022 Ducati Scrambler Urban Motard is a fun, energetic and explicit bike which rides through the urban jungle standing out from the crowd. Today's riders may forget that the first Scramblers appeared in 1962, but for an entire generation the name brings back memories of the bike that was agile and fun. Massimo Tamburini, Italian designer of sports bike icons like Ducati 916, once said that as a young man he would spend hours admiring the Ducati Scramblers. When the first Scramblers Ducati single went out of production, the Scrambler disappeared with it. But in 2014, a Scrambler came back. All thought it wasn't the same. The DNA was still there, and the name still had a lot of magic. The result was such a success that Ducati spun Scrambler off into a sort of sub-brand. To me, Urban Motard screamed young. 805mm height and only 180 kilograms weight. Nippy enough, but wouldn't scare a new rider. As well as the entire 800cc range, Urban Motard is available for an A2 license holders too. It's an easy bike and fun. It's perfect for an urban environment, what it's designed for, but also has no problem going up to a speed limit, or even a little bit more.
over.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. So hi, I'm Luna on Instagram and also on YouTube, and we're here today at Ducati.
Yeah.
Test riding some bikes.
And first time we met in real life.
Yeah, literally it is.
I was following you.
Exactly, we follow each other on social media, and this is the
And
first
it was
time
like,
we've actually...
oh, I know you. It's so strange, isn't it? And you tried Ducati. What's the name of this one?
Urban Motard.
Urban Motard, yeah. I remember it's Motard, but like it's Hyper Motard and
Yeah,
Urban
when you think of
Motard, and,
Motard,
like,
you think of these.
Yeah, and then it's Desert X and Desert Sled, and I keep like thinking of different
Want to
names.
start that again?
And today we already rode as well as mini bikes, which is like more your way. You already tried the Scrambler as well.
Yes, so I've tried the V2 Street Fighter, which is obviously more my style, but I wanted to give the Scrambler a go because I've ridden obviously some of the Triumph Scramblers off-road before. Yeah, I just wanted to see how this was, to be honest with you, and I was quite pleasantly surprised by it. So it's quite different in a few different ways, so yeah.
So how it is different from Triumph Scrambler for you? For me it is lighter. I haven't rode this yet. I rode the Desert Sled, but it is a lot lighter than other Scramblers that I tried, which maybe an off-road can be an advantage.
Yeah, so I found it was lighter. I also found when you think of Scrambler, you think of sort of softer throttle, maybe softer brakes, but the brakes on this were actually really quite sharp. Obviously it's got Brembos on the front and on the back. So it was just a lot more responsive that way than I was expecting it to be. So I was quite pleasantly surprised by it, which was nice. So I mean, I'm only 5 foot tall. I've got a really short inseam as well. I've only got like a 28-inch inseam. So I'm definitely on the more petite side. But I found with this especially, it was very well balanced, and the seat is quite narrow as well, which obviously when you've got a Scramblers, obviously you're in a sit back position, so you've got chunkier seats, wider seats, obviously with more comfort, whereas this was narrower, still comfortable, but you lose less of your leg. So yeah, it was really, really good actually. I enjoyed it.
And you wanted to try a Desert Sled as well, but you sat on it and you decided that it is way too tall.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously when you ride taller bikes, you have to stay within your sort of capabilities. I find with me, the more I ride, the more comfortable I get with taller bikes. So for example, if this one was an off-roading bike, a lot lighter, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But obviously being a heavier bike, being a road bike, obviously you've got quite a little bit of difference there.
And probably you need more relaxed environment to start with,
yeah,
not the
definitely
bunch of people
everyone
around
watching.
and everyone is watching. So if you would have it, for example, for a month or 2 weeks, or like if you would buy it, I think it's just a matter of time until you would jump on it and ride it.
I suppose like with this one as well, I suppose you'd have to adopt, so I don't know, like when you get off-road bikes, when you're quite petite, you have to hop off them to the side, hop on. So I think I'd have to adopt a bit of that and transfer it to this, which I've never tried on a road bike before, but I will give it a go, I think. I might have to see if Ducati can lend me one. Can I have one, please?
The main difference between those is this is more powerful than this, but is it better?
A Ducati Scrambler Tribute Pro is like a big, more sophisticated brother of an Urban Motard. Designed to celebrate the history of the air-cooled twin-cylinder engine 50 years after its introduction to Ducati. The engine is 1079cc L-twin with desmodromic distribution and air cooling that produces 86 horsepower at 7,500 RPMs and 88 Newton meters of torque at 4,750 RPMs. Also differently from Urban Motard, Tribute Pro has 3 riding modes and a multi-level traction control system, as well as double disc brake at the front. It's also 14 kilograms heavier than Urban Motard. In comparison with both 800cc models Urban Motard and Desert Sled, Tribute Pro was the winner on one thing: a sound.
Yeah,
that's my least
controversial.
favorite.
And it's not just you guys. It's like you know Moto Geo.
Yes.
Do you ever watch his channel?
Yeah, Aussie guy.
No, he's like a northerner that lives,
He lives in Aussie, doesn't he? Yeah,
California. Moto Geo, he calls it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he has a Scrambler 800, rides it all around California on all like the dirt trails and stuff. And he reviewed the 11 and said, yeah, I found it a little bit too heavy, and kind of removes the essence of the Scrambler 800, which is that it's like light and agile and easy. And I do get it, but I had that in my mind thinking I probably wouldn't like it. And I loved it. I just think it's got a bit more substance to it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought I would like this the most,
Yeah.
but I like this the least of all
I'm honestly
three.
on the same wavelength with Tomboy on this. I really thought I'd love this. I mean, I love the aesthetic of it.
The looks incredible.
It looks absolutely beautiful.
I thought
Sounds
it's because
way
it's bigger
better.
engine and more
It does
torque.
sound, I have to say.
Oh, the sound is definitely that one is the
Yeah,
one.
Brakes
nice
are a
bit of
little
ear
bit better.
candy.
Bit more power. You really have to rev it a lot more than you think you would though. It doesn't
Yes,
feel as
I
gutsy
found
as
that.
something like your Scrambler 1200, the
Yeah.
Triumph. But I liked it, and because it is a bit bigger, but on the road purely, because it's quite a low bike, you don't really kind of feel it too much, whereas, you know, they're great, the 800s, I really like them, and off-road, certainly take that any day, the Desert Sled,
Yeah.
but like, it just feels a bit more like comfy and
It feels like
substantial.
more of a custom urban sort of street scrambler, definitely.
Yeah. This was a real surprise to me. I'm going to say, I was just actually recording my video, and I said, probably my favourite bike I rode all day, and I rode 5 bikes, including the Desert X. I loved it. I don't know why.
It suits you.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It suits you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's a bit of me. That's exactly
It's
what I
a
said.
little
You can
bit
look at
you.
all the specs, talk about all the specs, you
Yeah.
know, go over all the little
It's a
details
feeling.
and features, but sometimes you
It's
just
how
ride
you
a bike
feel. Yeah.
and you just think,
And
this is
that's it.
fun, you know?
And that's what happened with me with this. I just rode it, and that's it. I just felt it's perfect for me. For me.
I'm 1 meter 75 centimeters tall, 5'9", and that is how I sit on the Urban Motard. As you can see, both feet firmly on the ground, absolutely comfortable. But the sitting position, I feel that I'm kind of too far. I would like to be closer to the tank, like I'm on the Desert Sled, but then I'm too close. So it's not the most comfortable sitting position, not after riding Desert Sled. And on the Tribute Pro, the same, sitting both feet firmly on the ground. It's because the tank is bigger, it's slightly more comfortable. I can feel the tank with my knees, but still have this gap because I kind of want it to be taller for that sitting position. So my conclusion is, because I rode Desert Sled and I laid my heart on it, none of this, for different reasons, I liked more than it. Before I came to Ducati UK today, before I tried the Scramblers, I was sure that 1100 engine would be my favorite. It is my favorite sound. neutral, nice. That's my favorite sound. But a total winner of the day for me is the Desert Sled. But that is on the next episode. Stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. You didn't leave a key. I'm just gonna push it and make vroom vroom noises. Vroom, vroom.